Hi guys and welcome back. So got something really exciting here today. Got the new brushless officially licensed WPL D14S. So as I said, this is officially licensed by Suzuki and it's WPL's first brushless release and it's ready to run. It comes with a body kit which you have to fit yourself, as well as some really cool stickers and a extra set of drift wheels. So a really nice release by WPL, and just look how far they've come. Look at the box art compared to the first black boxes they had years ago, and it's licensed. So yeah, they've come a really long way, and I'm really excited about this. And as always, I've already driven it, but yeah, want to show you guys the box. Nice box. And here we have the truck fully assembled with the body kit, drift wheels, the stickers, scale details, and it looks really good. And as always with the D series, we got two speed modes, low and high, as well as two steering modes. If you want to drift, you get a much steeper steering angle, and if you want to drive fast, you can use the other mode, which gives you a slightly less steep steering angle. So really nice release. Got the carry emblem in the front as well as the Suzuki. Really nice graphics here. Cool little wing in the rear. And yeah, just a really nice looking truck. And I did make my own drift truck a few years ago. Here's the body. So I'm actually a bit tempted to fit this on this, because yeah, I think this looks pretty cool. Haven't driven it a lot. More of a shelf queen, even though it got some scratches and paint scuffs. But yeah, I'm contemplating fitting the yellow one on the D14 chassis. Super fun, brushless, and another first for WPL is that it gets delivered with a 2S LiPo, 800 milliamp 15C discharged LiPo, so much more power than the usual lithium-ion batteries. And this is 2S capable, no 3S, what I could read on their website. And to start things off, just let's answer the question that most of you wonder, and that's how fast is it with the new 4000 kV brushless system. So let's have a look at that first. Okay, so I've got the stock battery, fully charged LiPo, and I've got the GPS in the rear. Got a nice smooth straight stretch of road here. So let's start off with the low speed setting. Fairly slow. Beautiful fall day. So let's bring it in here. Good brakes. So let's check the speed. 20 kilometers per hour, decent. So reset the GPS and then we'll kick it up to the next speed setting. Whoa. Almost. Let's see again. That's pretty crazy. Pops a wheelie stock. Did not expect that. Let's see the top speed here. Okay, so not much difference in the top speed, mainly in the acceleration or torque. Oh, the brakes, it almost pulls a stoppy as well. So let's check the speed. 26 kilometers per hour. Yeah, but the coolest thing was the wheelies. So let's try again. Wonder if it's the GPS bag in the rear. Did not manage to catch any more wheelies in slow-mo setting on the camera, so we'll see if it's visible in the regular one if I slow it down. So I'm going to fit the drift wheels and see how it power slides or drifts. Depends on who you ask. I guess four-wheel drive is more power slides than drifting. Yeah, as you can see, not super fast, but if you compare to the old brushed D14, it's a lot faster. If I remember correctly, we topped out at around 15 kilometers per hour on the brushed one, so 26 on this. Pretty decent. Still felt pretty stable even though I went full speed. Did roll over a few times because, well, yeah, the D series have always been a bit easy to roll over, but still really solid. And a lot of the awesome handling is thanks to the new setup in the rear with leaf springs as well as oil shocks, WPL's oil shocks, which gives it a really firm, jet like stable rear suspension. Also got some difference in the front suspension compared to the other ones. So yeah, it felt really stable in the highest gear in when you went as fast as you could, but still managed to roll over. Still looks good though. I think I cracked the windshield a bit, but other than that, felt really stable. And as you saw on the footage, I actually managed to do a little bit of a wheelie one time. You do get some decent grip with these classic D series wheels. They're a bit narrow, but still decent. Not the perfect speedrun wheels, but definitely enough for this kind of power. Another thing is the range of the transmitter. I mean, if you go full throttle 2S brushless, you do get quite far away. Did run out of range quite a few times without going too far, so the range is, it leaves something to be desired, but still decent. It's a budget truck after all. I don't remember the US price, but it's like under 100 US, I think. So check out the links below if you want to get one. I do think it's really good value for money. Got a licensed hard body, 2 sets of wheels, brushless. So yeah, definitely good value for money. And as I mentioned earlier, you have to fit the body kit yourself, which you do easily with some screws underneath. In front, you do have to remove the stock front bumper, standard black one, and fit the body kit instead. And also move the blinker lenses to the body kit. But other than that, it's really straightforward. What's a bit more challenging, in my opinion, is the graphics, the decals. They did turn out all right. I've got some air bubbles and stuff, but they look okay. Also, didn't really have the patience to fit the lines inside here in the indentions in the body kit. But other than that, pretty straightforward. I did use some soap water because it really stuck on there quite easily, and you want to be able to move it around a little bit. So I just fill a spray bottle with some soap water, old trick, and it works. And yeah, I do think it looks quite good. Another cool thing with this new release is that we do get metal drive shafts. Even in the front, we get some nice metal drive shafts, metal hexes, metal gears, plastic housing though on the rear axle. Might have been nice to have a metal axle to get some more weight down below. So I'll see. So we'll see. Maybe I'll fit a metal axle instead. And the classical D series always hide the battery underneath here. But the wheel has a little turning knob to lock and unlock the hatch. Got full scale interior, or maybe not full, not much room for legs, but still a really nice scale interior. And another thing I really liked is the drift wheels. Great size, perfect scale. The hubcaps are a separate part. So if you like the chrome look, skip the hubcap and just go with the full chrome wheels. So they look pretty cool. I did manage to get some nice power slides. So have a look at the drift or power slide footage here. Let me know what you think about my drifting skills. They do leave something to be desired, but I had a lot of fun. So let's check out that footage. Okay, so now I've got the drift wheels fitted at the high speed setting as well as the high steering setting. So I'm no DK, that's for sure. Still fun. Fairly easy to control, even though I'm terrible at this. I can get some nice looking power slides, and I would guess if you fit a gyro, was it would be pretty easy to drift this around the track or something. Nice wide turn there. So full throttle, high speed setting. Actually pretty controllable once you've driven it a little bit. Nice power slide. Full throttle. Ooh, almost lost control there. See if I can regain control. Nice power slide. Wide, wide, wide. And ooh, almost outside. Yeah, it's fairly easy to drive this thing actually. And it looks really good in my opinion. Especially if you're into the whole K-truck scene. Super easy to pull off some nice looking wide power slides, do some basic drifting. And I think if you were to fit a gyro in this, you would be uh, your local tracks DK in no time actually, because it's a lot of fun, easy to control, really easy to get some nice wide slides going. I mentioned the range earlier. We got the transmitter here, which is the standard WPL transmitter, which they use to all of their trucks. I really like it. A lot of people think it's cheap, but I like to feel it sits nice in your hand when you drive one-handed, which I do a lot. Hold the camera in one hand, drive with the other. So you get a nice short distance. You can steer with your thumb, and you got the steering trim and a button for the steering modes and one for the speed modes. So basic, but does the job really well in my opinion. So I think I've covered most that I can think of right now. If you have got any other questions, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities. But yeah, a really fun release. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope it answered most of your guys' questions. But it's a solid truck. One thing that annoyed me a little bit was when I got it delivered, I couldn't actually move the drivetrain by hand, completely stuck. And as you can see, I've loosened the screws on the pumpkin a bit, get some more space for the gears because they were way too tight fit in here. So yeah, couldn't move the gears or the drivetrain by hand. So I'm going to fit some of those paper gaskets here. If you experience the same thing when you get yours delivered, you can always just loose these up a bit, add some paper gaskets or whatever, and it should be fine. The pumpkin was filled with grease at least, so that's nice to know. So yeah, that's everything from for this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Are you going to buy one? Let me know in the comments down below. Me personally, I love that they've released a brushless, officially licensed Suzuki. It's really cool, and I hope they put a brushless system in more of their models. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about the release, and I'll see you soon in another video.